So,
I just
fellas,
don't.
I've been saying it for weeks that Hard Knocks was just going to continue to piss us off, but at least we got to the finish line. Saquon Barkley officially in the Hard Knocks series signed his deal with the Philadelphia Eagles, and just like me, Joe Marrow was sick. He was sick to his stomach. And it's just like the number that Joe Schoen had on the board, of course, Philly beats it. So there was just no shot with what we offered, saying, all right, this is our number. We already knew he was gone. They're going to go after Brian Burns. They're going to make that D-line formidable. They're going to try to make an O-line formidable so they can see what they have from Daniel Jones. And listen, the building blocks have been there. You know, they're paying Daniel Jones $40 million. They got to go out there and see what this dude is capable of. They're going to try this running back by committee thing. They're going to, try to get weapons on the outside, make sure everything around him is protected. Of course, he's coming off surgery, major injury. So it remains to be seen how effective he's going to be throughout training camp, getting ready for week 1. But listen, it's all there. It's all there now. Now we got to go out and see. I'm not sure if I'm ready to look forward to a 5-win team, but I digress. So Sean, tell me about your main thoughts on this episode. There was a lot going on. Spider-Man, super excited to be back in New York. A lot going on, but talk to me about, your major thoughts and, how that episode went for you.
Couple of takeaways. The first one, let's get that out of the way, right? Joe Schoen and the Giants were not going to bring back Saquon Barkley.
It wasn't happening.
It was a lot of posturing. I mean, I felt like that was for the purpose of Hard Knocks to make people feel like, okay, we're going to go in the direction of maybe possibly matching a contract. And earlier today, from a couple of tweets that I seen, Saquon Barkley stated that he knew that after he had that conversation with Joe Schoen, that he was not coming back as a New York Giant. I think that that decision was made in terms of what contract offer would be rendered to him. During the bye week of the 2022 season, 2023 season. After they said, look, we're going to give you 13 and a half. This is going to be your number. And this is alleged, right? Because all of these facts haven't been substantiated other than the media group from the Giants saying that they're going to pay him 13 and a half. He walked away from that deal, betted on himself, slowed down toward the end of the season. And they said, we'll come back to you, we're renegotiating. And they signed Daniel Jones at 40 M's, 4 years, right? So now Saquon's the odd man out. That's one of the first takeaways. The second one was the Brian Burns deal. Like seeing how a negotiation to trade for a player under the exclusive tag under Brian Burns, because you have to agree to a contract with him first, right? And then the second half to that is you have to agree on a deal to trade for him from the other team. So they had that exclusive tag on him, making it super difficult for them to iron out a deal in terms of what compensation they would give to the Carolina Panthers and Dan Morgan. And then during that interim, it made it difficult for the Giants to figure out how they're going to maneuver the cap and who they can sign during that time. Because I believe it was 10 or 11 hours before they actually knew that they had to sign, sealed, and delivered. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because think about who we would have been able to sign. I mean, fortunately, we got Jermaine Illuminor. We got John Runyon Jr. Those guys is solidify the offensive line on the interior, because yes, Illuminor played right tackle, but he's going to be playing interior. He might be playing the right or the left guard, right? And then you got John Runyon, who is going to be, John Runyon is going to be your right guard. Illuminor is going to be your left guard. JMS. And then you hope and JMS in the middle, and you hope and you pray that Evan Neal is going to anchor the right side. And if he doesn't, you can put Illuminor on the right side. But for the most part, they went and got what's his name? Used to be the Buffalo Bills running back. Motor Singletary. Yeah, Devin Singletary, aka Motor Singletary, which was a solid pickup, but also, after
for a bit.
And they overpaid for him too, because when you look at the market, they paid 7 M's for him.
Well, Santa was 4. Oh no, Drew Lock was 4.
7. Drew Lock was 4. Right.
Which I could live with Drew Lock at 4. I could live with Drew Lock.
I guess.
I could live with Drew Lock at 4. Bro. Tyrod 18.
He's solid. He's a solid backup.
He's solid. Bro.
Great arm, nice athleticism. You know what I'm saying? But losing Tyrod was tough. Losing Tyrod was tough.
Very.
for the continuity piece and his ability to push the ball down the field. Let's just say if Daniel
he's still in the same building, so it's okay.
Yeah, but he's green and white.
But it's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Nasty work.
Yeah, it's nasty work. But all in all, for me, the coolest part was seeing the negotiation on the exclusive tag with Brian Burns, because that was like nerve-wracking for them. You could see that was a big moment for them to be able to get that deal done, sign, seal, and then do the draft picks. Super tough moment.
Listen, if you lose Saquon, you got to make a big splash, right? And that was the whole Brian Burns thing. It's like, all right, we're gonna lose the powerhouse in the running back game, but we're gonna make everything else up to this team. Like, we got to shore up all the other positions, maneuvers. I just wanted to come to you real quick with a simple question, because there was a segment where they were in Joe Schoen's office with ESPN on the TV, and I believe it was Ian Rappaport literally spewing everything that was said in that GM's office. So I want to know what your thoughts are about who's like leaking this stuff, because they're getting it verbatim. And from my perspective, it's like they're giving them the information, but they're giving them the information, and it's very interesting to see how teams posture through the lens of the media.
I think it's very intentional. I think there's someone who is assigned to give this.
You just don't know the job title.
You don't know
it's the media dude who was having a conversation with Shane in the room while they was getting the deal done.
I don't think
he was sitting right in the front. He was sitting right in front of Joe Schoen.
I don't think all of it is necessarily him. I think there are definitely certain aspects that get leaked outside of the media dude, but I think the large majority is the media dude. I think the other piece is the agent.
Agents.
I gotta say though, not to get too far away from the question, Ed Berry, man, I don't know, man. I don't know how this guy.
What you mean?
Have you ever? First of all, have you ever seen a picture of this dude?
Nah.
Yeah. I don't know. If I was Saquon,
all right, now I'm gonna look that up now.
If I was Saquon
right now,
if I was Saquon, he wouldn't be my agent. That's number one. Number two, I think going back to the previous episode, I think he also played a dirty game, and it's his job to get your player the most money. But Joe Schoen did say, if we give you this for 3 years, is it a signed deal? And he was like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
I didn't say that.
Like, yes or no? Like, is it a signed deal or not? So
like, if we match this, he's a Giant.
So I definitely think the agents, leak. Well, I know the agents leak information in order to advance their position in negotiations. I think, it's like the only other place in business where I've seen it done is not even really in business. It's like with Elon Musk, where he's like, he is, leaking stuff to the media and being very vocal about what a negotiation is. Nowhere else in business you get, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leverage the media so I can get the number to where I want it to be. And that's what happened.
When he got power, man. Musk got power. You know what I'm saying? It's totally different. That man is his fingers are in everything, bro. You know what I mean?
You can't. But honestly, he's very fighting for the interest of his client, and by any means necessary, even if it means tarnishing a relationship.
Yeah, but you think
he's going to get that number for his client? And I'm not mad at him.
Do you really think that if early on in the conversation, everybody would have been like, "Yo, the Eagles are kind of talking around this kind of number"?
I don't think it would have mattered.
It wouldn't have mattered.
I think.
Bro, John Mara would have had something to say about it, but
if they went back to John
Mara, bro, the number was the number for him.
And they said the Eagles are gonna offer him this.
But you gotta understand, bro. Like, I think, and I've been listening to a few of the commentary about this. John Mara pretty much he told him without telling him what he needed to do. He pretty much said, I'm going to have a hard time sleeping if Saquon is not a Giant.
That's posturing.
That's not posturing. Like that. No, that's not
posturing. To your own GM, though, I don't think that's posturing.
That's not posturing, bro. That's like if your boss tells you, Sean, you have a big client meeting coming up tomorrow.
If this doesn't go well.
This doesn't go well, Sean, we have a problem.
Schoen is on the clock.
Exactly.
He's on the clock.
That's inadvertent. And then you got to think, bro, like the way Mara thinks about this, and Shane is right now, I get it. I love analytics. Analytics are driving the future. Mara was saying, this guy gets everybody in the seats to pay your salary. That's what he pretty much said.
Yo,
you need to have him.
Joe Shane better hope Saquon doesn't have a career year next year.
It's not even about that. It's not even about that. When it comes to John Mara, Darnell is exactly right.
Bro,
John Mara is
have to get our most electric player since Victor Cruz, Strahan, and Shockey. We need him to sell tickets, Joe. We gotta sell those PSLs, Joe. Nobody's coming to see Spider-Man. We want to see Saquon Barkley. Like that's what it was. And that's the reason why Joe Shane has been ripped apart by the media.
And that's the reason why the Giants have been languishing the last 10 years, because he's been walking in the office, talking to the GM. Hold on. No, stop.
You talk. Let me talk. Can I talk? You talk. Can I talk?
No, you're not.
Let me talk. Let me finish my point.
I'm not going to let you do that,
Spider-Man.
I'm not going to let you do that.
Let me finish my point, Miles Morales.
That same owner is the same owner who was giving people Diet Cokes on goddamn Giant Day. The same owner it's the same owner that's been making these decisions. That's why you think Gettleman lasted for so long, because he could walk into Gettleman's office and tell him, they signed this person. No. Where did you get that from?
What the thing is, and this
keep going.
This is my point, right?
I don't even want to
say Saquon,
look, pulled out popcorn buckets, yo.
Yeah, but
that's
but
crazy.
The big
Pops on deck without heads up.
The biggest issue for me is I can't see myself saying we're gonna bring all these weapons in, and then we're gonna put Devin Singletary behind Daniel Jones, and yes, he's gonna become this all-pro Josh Allen, Joe Burrow type quarterback. It doesn't make sense. And this is what I'm trying to say. You sign Saquon, you bite the bullet for the money, you shore up your offensive line, you still make the trades because you still got money anyways. How much money did Philly give him? How much was it? Like
37.5, 13 and a half a season.
How much were the Giants getting him? 12.5?
Yeah, they shorted him on one.
That's $1 million, bro. That's $1 million difference.
They had more cap space than they expected.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. It's not
because it went up. Yep.
Yes, it was like, bro,
which they knew.
It's not like if you said, hey, you know what? Hey, he wants $10 million more. It was $1 million. Like it baffles the mind, because now we're looking at it, and bro, you know what a lot of people are saying about Joe Shane and the Giants front office? How inept they are, and it shows. Because you know what? I think he's going to go behind that offensive line in Philly, and he's going to crack 2,000 yards. Touches.
All purpose?
All purpose.
Because he's playing with 4 other all-pros.
But that's the thing.
He's going to play well.
But that's the thing. But that's
how many all-pros do we have on offense right now?
I don't know. We just traded him. We gave him away.
We gave him one away.
We gave him away, Sean. We gave him away, Sean. We gave him away.
But listen.
Andrew Thomas, I'm about to go buy Andrew Thomas jersey, Sean.
Listen, we're gonna tell the viewers. We're gonna tell the viewers. I'm gonna
go buy Andrew Thomas's jockstrap.
We're gonna tell the viewers
down the street.
Listen, bro,
we don't have a.
Listen, bro, I'm done screaming. But what I will say is this: we're gonna tell the viewers who you are, right?
We don't have a franchise player.
We don't have a franchise player, and that's all right, because we're trying to bolster the entire roster. Okay. They know they made a mistake with Daniel Jones. That's evident in everything that they've been doing in terms of trying to make this team competitive. They're trying they're trying to add. What were you gonna say, bro?
I just said, and they had a chance to fix it. They let this guy go let him go down 95 for $1 million more and a pack of cookies.
But if you add Saquon Barkley to the mix, right? Where are you going to have the money to pay your stars down the line? Where are you going to get it from?
We need to develop.
Where are you going to get it from
now?
Saquon Barkley, let's keep it a bean here. Saquon Barkley is good for an injury for at least 3 to 4 games a season. So is Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones is off injured because of what let's not make it into a Sean's defending Daniel Jones conversation because I'm defending them in a damage control situation.
Daniel Jones is off injured because of the offensive line. Well, Saquon is off injured because of overuse, because there is nothing else going on.
There was nothing else for him to do. It's just we're going to run him into the ground. He's going to catch everything out the backfield.
And then we're going to turn around. We're not going to pay you.
I like the fact that y'all playing ignorant. Like Saquon Barkley wasn't hurt in his rookie year. He wasn't hurt the year after that. He didn't blow his knee out in year 3. He didn't miss 5 games.
Sure, I don't think they're not.
He has an
injury
history.
Bro,
like they're just speaking from John Mara's point of view. Like, yo, we need to put butts in seats, and there's no name on the roster right now that's gonna do that.
Nothing.
And
that's all they're saying.
I disagree because John Mara's influence has led to poor roster building and bad contracts over the last 10 years with the New York Giants. Can we debate that?
When was the last time they won a Super Bowl? 2012.
So you're gonna do that?
11, yeah,
can you at least agree with me from that perspective?
No. I said we're gonna agree.
You weren't listening to what I just said.
No.
I said that John Mara has been walking into that GM office for the last 10 years, talking to the GM as to how they should be able to maintain their roster and who they should sign and who fills butts in seats and how has it resulted in terms of on-field performance for the New York Giants.
So can I ask one question then?
You can't answer a question with a question, bro.
No, but before I answer your question, so you're asking me if he's doing it only for the last 10 years, not the entirety of the time he's been in charge of New York.
Of course he has, but you can clearly see that.
So what's the difference? What happened?
Yeah,
what happened where it stopped working?
like he won 2 championships. Like, what are you doing? Like, Jerry Reese.
How many years? What do you mean? I just finished saying it. Why y'all celebrating a point that don't goddamn matter? 10 years, more than 10 years ago. When was the last championship?
The Maras have owned the Giants from the beginning of time, sir. So ever since he's taken over, however many decades ago, he's been doing the same thing. And guess what? The Giants have been relevant. They've had a superstar. They've been able to fill the stadium. They won 2 Super Bowl championships. They've been to 3 Super Bowls. They were the friggin' top of the NFC East many years.
Okay, let's break down our Super Bowl. Let's break down our Super Bowl wins.
Wait. In the last,
go ahead.
What you're saying is because the last 10 years, you want to look at the last 10 years and say, or more, we had the best roster the year Plaxico shot himself in the leg, bro. We had the best roster in football.
Yep.
We were about to run it back.
How many years ago?
What I'm saying.
They're just asking when was the shift?
When do we say?
No, I hear what FJB. I hear what they're saying.
So when do we say that? So when do we say that what John Mara is doing is an issue? Because it wasn't an issue when we was winning. So now we're gonna complain about it?
Like you acting like this guy, like he likes money, bro.
That's like saying that's like saying
part of the game.
Okay, that's like saying Jerry Jones had an influence. Hold on, Jerry Jones had an influence on the Dallas Cowboys roster that won them a championship back in 1994. And because he's had that influence over that time, they haven't won shit in the last couple of years. Why should they change what they're doing?
But let me ask you a question.
It makes no sense.
Let me ask you a question.
It has to change.
Let me ask you a question.
All right, bro. Go ahead.
So since the Cowboys have not won a championship, tell me how many years they've absolutely sucked. Tell me how many years they didn't have a superstar player.
Yep.
Tell me how many years they didn't have multiple superstar players. Tell me how many years the Cowboys have not been.
It hasn't been the last 12 years. I'll tell you that.
They've had superstar.
It hasn't
players.
been the last 12 years. It went on from. I'll let you finish.
They've had superstar players that entire time. They've had a face of the franchise. They've had better than 10-win seasons multiple times. They've remained relevant. They're the most, by the numbers, they're the most high, they're the most valuable franchise in American sports.
No. They're in the world.
In the world.
The world.
So,
bro, you gotta understand.
So when you're in the same division as that, and you're not winning. I can see if you're winning, and you don't have all these other things. You're not winning. You don't have.
Pardon my French. What kind of effing world are y'all living in? Y'all are saying that the Dallas Cowboys are successful
as a franchise.
To who?
The franchise?
Yes. You're talking about money, or you're talking about putting Lombardis in the building?
They got 5.
They got more Lombardis than us. It hurts me to say they have more Lombardis than us. They have more money than us. If you're an owner, an NFL owner, and you're in the same division as the most valuable franchise in sports, and you give away your only
person
superstar player
in the seats,
how would you feel?
They let Zeke walk, didn't they?
They let Zeke walk because they had Zach, they had CD Lamb, they let
Zeke walk.
They had Michael Parsons.
They let Des Bryant walk.
They
let Tony Pollard. They let Tony
guys.
And have they not had a face after those guys walk?
CD's still there.
CD, and you gotta understand, bro. When Zeke left, and when Zeke left, and when Des left, they were on the downturn of their career.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like right now, you could easily say Saquon. Right now,
still
when you talk about running backs, Christian McCaffrey, and who's next?
All right, well, let's just put it as simple as this, because no one's looking on defensive side of the ball, right? So for the sake of y'all argument, right now, Cowboys, they brought Zeke back, but he's not a superstar. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb. Those are the main two.
Michael Parsons.
Who Michael Parsons on defense, yeah, but strictly offensively. Who's there for the Giants?
Talking about defense. You're talking about Dexter
We
Lawrence.
got
Dexter
We got good defense. We got big
Kayvon Thibodeau,
big blue wrecking crew.
Dexter Lawrence is it.
Great.
Brian Burns.
Dexter Lawrence.
Yep.
And you know what?
Brian Burns is already established star, but this is
who's the offensive superstar.
Wait.
That's
this
what
is
I'm
New
asking.
York. So let's not. You can't. Brian Burns has to do it in New York. Dexter Lawrence is our only guy on the roster. Period.
Yeah.
Period. There's nobody else on the roster, bro. Brian Burns, great. You did that in Carolina.
Come do it in New York.
New York.
Come do it when it's cold. Come do it when the warm weather ends in September.
And the same guy that you're talking about that's messing it up, no wiser words have been spoken. You can go from Bono to Bozo like this.
Well, appreciate the fireworks, fellas. Next week, looking forward to the draft content. Of course, we know we took Malik Neighbors, but
you can't so in that, bro. It's like it's so bad. It's so bad watching it. It's like crazy.
It should be very interesting to see the thought process moving forward. So next week we'll have the recap for episode 4, NFL Draft.